So aim is a really important part of Counter-Strike, and for most of my career at the beginning, I didn't really care too much about aim. I constantly just got on every day, I watched demos, I looked to be a better in-game leader, but I didn't look to be a better individual player. And with this, I started off my professional career as a bottom of the pack performer, definitely below average, and I wasn't really performing very well individually. Now, you could account this to me being inexperienced or lacking the overall idea of how Counter-Strike should be played, but largely I just feel like my aim was actually subpar. So about 2 years ago, I started to really put a lot of work into my aim, and I looked to have a everyday routine followed by a certain amount of deathmatch that I wanted to play. And after doing this, I was able to raise myself from one of the lowest rated players in the region to one of the highest players in the region pretty quickly. This allowed me not only to just be like a great in-game leader in terms of my vision for the game and my ability to call, but it also allowed me to pull off rounds like this.
Nice. One was mid.
Flash from SWAT.
It's only you.
Nice! Let's fucking go, Bobby!
I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys what I've been doing every single day for the last 2 years to improve my aim. But before I do, let's have a word from our sponsor. Today's sponsor is Skins Monkey. Skins Monkey is an automated Counter-Strike 2 trading site that provides an instant way to get new skins. One of my favorite things about Skins Monkey is that I can take skins that I no longer want and trade up for a better skin at equal value. If you use code STAMINA, you can get up to a $5 bonus on your first trade. You can also use Skins Monkey to purchase skins, and if you top up your balance, you can get a 35% bonus. So head over to Skins Monkey today to make your first trade or purchase. Now back to the video. So the first thing I look to do every day when I start off my aim routine is I look to just spray and make sure that my spray control is feeling good. Now, there have been some spray trainers in the past, but I don't know of one currently in Counter-Strike 2. But I think this is super important. You know, you can just put on SV Impact 1 and you can just go ahead and spray the wall and make sure that you're spraying in like a pretty small circle. Now I do this at short range and I'll also do this at long range. And I just try to make sure that I'm feeling good with my spray. It's really important to make sure that every single day you practice this, as you're going to spray every single day that you play Counter-Strike. Now, the second thing that I really work on is just tapping around the map, and I try to stay slow with this at the beginning. I think there's a lot of merit to just being slow and steady when you're first warming up. I mean, in every traditional sport that you can play, there's some sort of warm-up routine to literally physically warm up your body. And I think that's really important when you are doing a routine like this, because you want to make sure that these reps are super efficient, right? After I'm done tapping around and I kind of feel comfortable, I move on to kind of spraying, and I'll just look to spray different bots, do some little like spray transfers. But again, I'm not really doing anything too quickly. I'm just being steady, I'm being efficient, and I'm making sure that I'm just really getting comfortable with my mouse. Now, after I've kind of tapped around and sprayed around a little bit, I look to start practicing my tracking, and I just literally lock onto a different bot's head and I run in circles and just try to keep my mouse directly on their head. Now, this is really important because in Counter-Strike, you're gonna have to track people, especially on like pistol rounds. And this is largely how you're gonna get a lot of your multi-kills, right? And then eventually, after I've tracked under their head a little bit, I just, you know, try to like track for a while and then tap a bot down and flick to the next. And I just do this for, you know, 30 seconds to a minute. Just to really get comfortable with the tracking. After I warmed up my tracking a bit, now I look to kind of flick between 2 different bots at a time. Now, this is something that I actually think has helped me more than anything when it comes to my aim training regimen. I just really believe that there's a lot of opportunities in Counter-Strike to kind of, you know, flick from one player to another really quickly and really up your chances at a multi-kill. So if you can do this every single day and get really comfortable doing it, you can get to a point where you're gonna hit these types of flicks in your matches pretty consistently. So after I'm done flicking from head to head with the AK, I go onto the Deagle, and I started doing this after watching Tens play on stream a few years back, and he was just always doing this, and I thought it was genuinely pretty smart because you're forcing yourself to constantly move and track the individual heads, and you're doing these little micro flicks that really benefit your Deagle, but also most other pistols that you're going to use, and basically any other weapon as well. So I do this every day for, you know, a good, you know, 3 to 5 minutes. So the last thing that I look to do is I just grab the M4A4 and I just look to do like 2 bullet bursts, because if you're using the A4, if you can master 2 headshot bursts, I mean, that's the quickest way you can kill somebody, right? So I would just constantly do this, and I just do like, you know, 3 to 5 minutes doing this. And typically when I'm done doing this, I just spray them for a little bit, make sure that I'm feeling comfortable with its spray, even though it's far easier than the AK. And that's pretty much it for the warm-up routine. So the last thing that I really look to do is I hop in some deathmatch, and I stole this from Alige a few years back, but basically he was talking on stream and he said that when he's in deathmatch and it's on like normal body shot mode, he looks to only tap and burst. And the concept here is pretty simple. Everybody else is going to be committing to their fights and spraying at you, and you are just tapping and bursting. So you're actually making that portion of the DM harder on yourself because your opponents are just trying to kill you as quick as possible, and you're just looking to tap or burst. Now, obviously, it's going to make it like a little bit more annoying, and you know, at this point I still haven't even really found anybody, but the concept is pretty good, and it's proved to help me a lot because when I would deathmatch, I would just look to kill people as fast as humanly possible, and that didn't really benefit me all that much, right? I was just mindlessly deathmatching with no real direction. And after doing this for a little bit, what Alige would do is when it would go to headshot only mode, and I've just turned this on, he would actually look to commit and spray to his fights. Now, the concept here is also pretty smart because it's forcing you to control your spray to the head only, right? Like, you can't just spray their body and get free kills. You have to be able to spray and commit to these fights while your opponents can hit you anywhere, right? But you can only hit them in the head. In Prac, they have this really cool option, like I just showed earlier, that you can type !headshot, and basically all your opponents can still hit your body, but you can only hit their head. So you are by yourself, kind of like going headshot only mode, while your opponents can kill you however which way they prefer. And this is just going to make it harder on you and really kind of just like stress your aim and whatnot. And honestly, it's helped me a ton, and I recommend it to anybody. So shout out to Leash for that idea. So at the end of the day, this video isn't really about reinventing the wheel or showing you guys some crazy ideas that nobody's ever showed you before, but it's the way that I have personally improved my aim over the last couple of years. And I'm not trying to be the smartest in the room and say that these other videos aren't helpful. I just wanted to give a different perspective. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, like always, give me a thumbs up and comment below what you'd like to see next. I appreciate all the support. Peace out.